2009 Peugeot Boxer van, 2.2 HDI diesel. Let's do the clutch and the flywheel. Pretty straightforward. Got my new clutch, new dual mass. This is LUK, so it's good quality. Use them all the time, never get a problem. The van. Basically, I'm lucky I have a hoist. It's up in the air. If you're doing this at home, it is a heavy van. Keep it safe, keep it on flat ground, keep axle stands under it, throw the wheels under it, anything. This falls on you, it's gonna kill you. Anyway, enough of that. Wheels off, drive shaft nuts off, bottom ball joint, drop it off so the wheel can come out the way and we can slide the drive shaft out. Passenger side, haven't decided. Might leave it in place, I might knock it out. These are lovely and straightforward, loads of room, no need to take the subframe out. External clutch slave cylinder, 2 bolts, that's out of the way. Little carrier there for the pipe, pull that out the way. Little carrier there for the bit of wiring, pull that out the way. Usual, actually there's a bracket there for your intercooler pipe that can come off. All the bolts, follow them around. Torque stop off. More bolts up and around here. Where are they? You can't really see, it's 2 dots. There's one up there, 2 across the top. What else? What else? There'll be a reverse light switch somewhere up here. That's to unplug. Gear select cables, 2 on the top. Then we've got the gearbox mount to come off. At that point, I'll have the whole thing supported over here with a couple of stands and a plank of wood. This has had a new engine in it. But look, everything's brand new. It's got new gearbox mounts, new torque stop mount, making my life a whole lot easier. I'm going to drain the gearbox oil, save any mess. Good practice to change it anyway. It's not a new van. Oh, that bottom ball joint was a struggle. And obviously I've got all the equipment, I do this for a living, trying to make my life easy. And also I noticed the outer drive shaft boot is split. While the drive shaft's out, I'll just replace that, rude not to. Okay, bottom ball joint separated, drive shaft's out, that's out the way. Wheel was a bit stuck, bottom ball joint was a bit stuck. It's an older vehicle, it's gonna happen. Just a bit more brute force. So now I'm gonna move on. Clutch slave cylinder in there, there's just 2 bolts, real easy, that'll fall out the way. The pipe as well, take that bracket off. Intercooler, take that bracket off. Forgot to mention before I started this, I disconnected the battery because 2 of the bolts hold the starter motor. Shouldn't go anywhere, but just in case it falls, arcs out, everything catches on fire. Disconnect the battery. One bolt there, I've taken that out. If you look up there, oh, this is fiddly. There's one just there, and there's a one just next to it, slightly higher up. Hard to see. Anyway, predictably, the two bolts on the back up there were extremely tight. A spanner was just going to round the heads, which would have been a disaster, but I managed to just sneak a socket in, a couple of short extensions, and got them loose. I've left the top one in place because the turbo oil return pipe is in the way, so I'll just leave it there for now. I think what's happened when this has had a new engine, it's all been on the floor, the gearbox has been attached, and they've just drilled it up with a gun, and it's got them real tight, and they're very long bolts, so they can get real tight. Right, I've still got 3 bolts around the top holding the gearbox in, so I don't want to release it just yet. I'll drop it down and see what's going on at the top. I would like, if I can, to take the gearbox mount off, drop the gearbox down a bit, and then I can do everything from underneath. Actually looking from the back, I can probably do all the gear cables from here. Bit of keyhole surgery, but you know. And also, as I'm going, just keep it tidy so you know where stuff's going back. See, that's the torque stop mount. They're the gearbox bolts. From the engine side, I've laid them that way. Gearbox side, I've laid them that way. They're all just the bits and pieces that were holding intercooler pipes and such like. Drive shaft wheel bolts, blah, blah. Also, I disconnected the intercooler pipe and I've tied all that out the way with a bungee. Just got that out the way. And it's nice and clear around the gearbox now, because I just don't want any clutter in the way when I come to withdraw the gearbox. The drive shaft on this side, I'm going to leave it in place for now, and I'm hoping that the gearbox will clear it without hitting the subframe, but I don't really know. I'll face that when I come to it. The only problem with leaving the drive shaft in, it means you've got 2 points to get it back in, if you know what I mean. You've got to hit the drive shaft in the right place, and you've also got to also hit the clutch in the right place. I'm undecided. Might save a bit of grief just taking that out of the way. It's not the end of the world to do. Gear cables came off pretty easy. Just got a bar, pop that end off. That sleeve just pulls back a touch. When that pulls back, it releases it comes out. They're pretty old. That one I had to put a bit of WD on to get it moving. Even poke a little screwdriver in the slot to push it back and then lever it out. And they can come out the way. All right, let's have a look from the top. Yeah, using that lot, I've managed to get 2 of there's a bolt and a nut out, and I'll get the 3rd one from the bottom, just to save me taking all this lot out. If I can get that gearbox and engine to drop a bit, all from underneath, it's happy days. Driver's side drive shaft. It's basically, there you go, 2 nuts and 2 bolts holding it in, 12mm for some unknown reason. Bottom ball joint out, drive shaft nut off. I was toying with leaving it in, but I think it's just going to get in the way, but also, this CV boot's hanging off, so we'll just take it out and fix it while I'm here, because it will fail its MOT otherwise. Nearly there. There was actually 4 gearbox mounting bolts to the chassis. It's been a long time since I've done one this old. There's a stud. If it draws the stud out, great. If it doesn't draw the stud out, put a multi-whatever socket on there and draw it out, because it gets jammed completely. The gearbox is trying to do that. The engine mount, the gearbox mount's trying to do that, and the bolt through the middle just gets completely jammed. Don't ask me how I know this. Also, this gear linkage needs to come off. It kind of links between the engine mount and the gearbox. But this is the one that always seizes up and makes your gear change really sticky. So obviously I'll sort that. So other than the clutch and flywheel, it's going to have a better gear change. It's going to have new grease and boots in the drive shaft. It won't be a problem on MOT. So what I've done here, I took that arch guard out. It was getting on my nerves, it was getting in the way. I've got multiple gearbox stands. So I've got one there with a big plank of wood and one there holding the engine. I've got the gearbox one here, and what I've done, it's sitting on the sump. I'm not bothered about damaging the oil filter. I'm going to change the oil filter anyway. I can slowly bring the whole lot down. The gearbox is completely independent now with nothing around it. So all's left to do, there's 1, 2, 3 bolts I can see. Yeah, there's just 3 left. There's lighting, and just the reverse light wire. Where am I? Can you see my hand? Yeah, that reverse light wire. And that's it, it's ready to come out. I'll get the gearbox stand in. There's 3 bolts to come out, but there's also one holding a little wire tag. I'll take that one off as well. Just do not want to get anything tangled on the way out. And I'll get a thin ratchet strap, and I'll actually strap the gearbox to this stand. This stand's great, you can move it multiple angles. The plan is if you get it strapped to that at exactly the angle it's at, it'll come out, and then you can put it back in on the exact same angle, so you're not messing around trying to twist the gearbox. That's the theory. It sometimes works. So right, let's get this out. This has turned into a bit of a nightmare. These 2 bolts, well 3 even, I've got that one out with the gun, that one and that one. Whoever's done the new engine has just drilled them in with a battery gun or whatever. I mean, that one's actually loose on the gearbox, but it's solid in the engine. Oh my God, and how do we get these out? Heat, bit of heat. Never had to heat gearbox bolts. Why do people do this? Okay, drama over. Got an induction heater, heated up the bolts and managed to just tease them out. It took ages. Never ever seen anything like that. Anyway, moving on. All gearbox bolts are out, I think. I've got the gearbox stand strapped to the gearbox there with one piece. So let's just give it a go. I don't see any more bolts anywhere. And there she comes. Ta-da. Very noisy clutch bearing. And there is the clutch. That has been stood a very, very long time. Look at the state of it. Oh, and the dual mass flywheel is hanging off. I think that could be the rattling noise. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I've shown you how to take the gearbox out. Putting it back in is just the reverse. Do I need to show you how to change the clutch? I mean, it just bolts on, flywheel just bolts on. These ones, the flywheel has got timing marks, but it'll only go in one way. So yeah, keep it neat and tidy so you know where everything is. Fix a few other things along the way. Keep your customer happy, or keep yourself happy. You know the deal. Like and subscribe.